everyone. Okay, so in this video we are going to be introducing logs and understanding what logs are. So in order to understand logs, we have to be able to understand exponentials. So hopefully you know about exponential and index notation and your rules of indices and everything going into this video. So let's look at this sum here. 3 squared is equal to 9. That makes sense. We know that, right? Well, with logs, I can kind of rewrite this expression a different way, right? So with logs, right, I could say here log base 3. So a number underneath the log here, it's called a base. Log of base 3 of 9 is equal to 2. So what does this mean, right? So log of a number usually just gives me the power, right? I have. So log of base 3. So what power of 3 gives me 9? 3 to the power of what gives me 9? The answer is 2 here, right? So that's what logs essentially are. So we are just rewriting index notation into something else, kind of more focused on the actual power. So the log of a number is the power to which the base of the number must be raised to get that number. So, for example here, log base 3 of 9 is equal to 2. That means 3 to the power of 2 gives me 9, right? So, how could we convert from, what's an easy way to remember to convert from log to index form? Well, we have this little notation here. This is in your log tables, right? A to the x equals y, and that is, we can make that log base a y equals x, right? But a good way to think of it is to remember BAP, right? BAP meaning base answer power, right? So log of my base number, right? Log base of my answer equals the power I need, right? So we can convert that to base of a power is equal to my answer, right? So it's very important that you're able to convert fluently between index and log notation in Leaving Cert higher level, right? And it's also important to understand what the meaning of logs is, because there was a question in the 2023 paper that threw a lot of students off that we're gonna touch upon later in the video. But hopefully when we come to that video, you're like, why was everyone so stressed about that question? So looky here. So if you see something like log base 5 of 125, we have to think 5 to the power of what gives me 125, and we know 5 cubed is 125. So we can also use our calculator to evaluate logs, right? So we're never expected to do we can never be hardly expected to do logs within our head. So how do we do logs is we have this little button in the top corner here, log and blank base. So you fill in the base. I'm going to say log base 5 of 125. So 5 to the power of what gives me 125? Well, that's going to be, the answer is going to be 3. So 5 to the power of 3 gives me 125. B-A-P. BAP. 5, answer, that's the power there. So let's look at some questions here. So to convert from log to index form, we must isolate the exponential term on its own. So we need to make sure we have the exponential term on its own on the left hand side. So nothing else. So it has to be a to the x equals y. So no coefficients or nothing. And then we label the base, the argument, or like the answer, and the power. And then we sub it to the relevant index form. Base to the power equals the argument answer. So let's have a look here. Right? 3 squared equals 9 in log form. Oh my god, I just did this example, right? I just did this example, but remember BAP. So what's my base in this case? Well, my base is 3. My answer is 9. And my power is 2. And then to fill that in to my log form, remember it's log, well, B-A-P, BAP, base, answer, power. So log base 3 of 9 equals 2. And I just rewrote that in log form. The second one here is asking me to write this in log base 464 equals 3 in index form. So let's label this BAP. So 4 is my base, or my B. 64 is my answer. And my power is going to be equal to 3. So 4 to the power of 3 is equal to 64. Ding, done. Right, so that is how we convert from log to index form. So let's look at some more examples here. Right. So before we look at some several examples, I need to talk about some rules of logs first. So there are several log bases which are commonly used. So we have two log bases that we kind of use regularly in Leaving Cert Maths. So we have log base 10. So log base 10, we usually just rewrite that as just log. So log base 10, we usually rewrite that as just log. And if you look at our calculator here, log is just its own one right over here. And then we use another one, right? So log base 10, that's used for decibel scale, pH scale, Richter scale, all that stuff. We also have log base E, right? So E is Euler's number. It's an irrational number similar to pi, right? So it's very good at modeling growth, economics, statistics, physics, chemistry, etc. So if we're writing something log base E, we write that as ln. And ln is something we have on our calculator right here. Okay. So then one more thing I want to note about logs before I do some questions is some restrictions on logs. So let's say I have log base a x here, right? So my base can never be negative. My base can be a fraction, but my base can never be negative, right? My base can never be negative, nor x can be less than or equal to 0, right? So in here, I can never be less than or equal to 0. So it can't be 0, it can't be -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6, etc. So you'll just get an error on your calculator. So I'll show you here. So look, let me just put in here, let me use my log base 10. So this is log base 10 of -50. So my base is positive, and my answer or argument is not. Put down the calculator, I get a error, right? Let's change it. If I put 0 in, does that work? That does not work. So I have errors there. What about negative bases? So log base -2 of like 4. We have an error, right? So I can never have a negative base and a negative argument or answer, right? The reason why is I'll show you later in a later video of logs, but the simplest way is we can't have a negative number in here because for example, let's use 3 for example. 3 to the power of x equals a negative number, right? I can never, no matter how hard I try, I can never make 3 to the x a negative number. No matter how hard I try. Like 3, there's going to be no number x which will give me a negative number here. None, right? My answer will always range from 0 to like infinity, right? Same as the base here, right? If I have like say -2 to the x, that's my formula here, or my function here. My answers are going to be ranging from positive to negative, positive to negative, positive to negative, positive to negative. So if I have x equal to 0, I have 1. If x equals 1, I have -2. If x equals 2, I have 4. So this is inconsistent, right? And this is something to do with functions. But all you need to know is base can't be negative, and your argument here cannot be less than or equal to 0. I should probably say that as well. Base can't be 0 either, really. So let's do some practice problems. Express 5 to the power 4 equals 65 in log form. So remember BAP. So my base is equal to 5, my power is equal to 4, and my answer is equal to 625. So I want to convert this to log form. So BAP. So log of my base, which is 5, my argument or answer is 625, is equal to 4. 5 to the power of 4 equals 625. Rewrite log base 2, 32 is equal to 5 in index form. So my base is 2, my answer is 32, and my power is 5. BAP. So 2 to the power of 5 equals 32. 2 to 7 equals 128. So 2 to the 7 equals 128. So my base is 2, my power is 7, my answer is 128. I want to convert this to log form. So log base 2 of 128 is equal to 7. Log base 3, 81 is equal to 4. Base equals 3. My answer or argument is 81. my power is equal to 4. Convert to index form, 3 to the power of 4 equals 81. Then finally, transform 6 squared equals 36 into log notation. So my base is 6, my power is 2, my argument is 36. So my base is, so I'll convert it to log form, sorry. So log base 6 of my argument 36 is equal to 2. So 6 to the power 2 is 36. Alright, now let's look at that dreaded Leaving Cert question from last year that everyone was complaining about. So 2023 Leaving Cert Paper 1 Question 3 Part C. Explain what log base 6 means, where log base 6 m means where m is a positive real number. So if you convert this to like index notation, my base is 6, my answer is m, my power is, I don't know what my power is, so BAP. So base is 6, argument is m, power, I don't know what my power is, I'm going to say x. So 6 to the x equals m. So first of all, you got full marks if you wrote that, but let's write some of the English now beside it. It just means what power of 6 gives me m. What power of 6 gives me m? This one caused tears, right? But hopefully now, if you understand what logs are, this one isn't too much of a problem for you. So if m is a real number and m is greater than 6, what information does this give me about log base 6 m? So I have 6x equals m. Now they said here, m is greater than 6. So what does this tell me about x here? Well, m could be 6. So 6 to the power of x is going to be equal 6 or equal 7, 8, 9, 10, blah, 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 blah. So what's it mean? My answer obviously is increasing here and all greater than my base. So therefore, my power is greater than 1. Right, so that is obviously what it's telling me here, because if m is, my answer is greater than 6, well, x has to be greater than 6 in order, because 6 to the power of anything greater than 1 will give me more than 6, right? And that's it, right? So, hope this video was some help. So that was last year's paper, and hopefully it's not as scary as it looks. So that's just covering what basics logs is. So next video we're going to be going over some log rules, and I hope this video was some help to you guys, and I'll catch you guys later. Bye.